Did everybody get which ones? I'm going to give you a couple different ones, so I'm going to kind of layer this. Does anybody not have one? I have enough if you don't have to look over anybody's shoulder if you don't want to. All right. Start out. I mean, I'm going to kind of walk you through a scenario of what maybe the students already know at this point. If you look through the second and third page, you see a page on simple machines. It may be a while since some of you have looked at simple machines. So I'm going to assume that my students, we've already at least talked about it. They know what a lever is, a pulley is, a wedge, an inclined plane, a wheel and axle, and a screw. The 6 simple machines. Okay, kind of a physics unit of sorts. And I'm not going to directly tie this to the next page, which is your types of energy, but you certainly could as well. Talking about kinetic energy, mechanical energy, potential energy, and things like that, because that would fit into a Rube Goldberg free handling as well. So we could go that direction if I wanted to. Specifically today, I will hold off on looking at that on the back for just a minute. I'm going to kind of introduce you to some Rube Goldberg machines in a little bit on some videos that are out on the web that are easy to do. But if we go back to the first page, just kind of, if you haven't already had a chance to read through it, look at the activity that we're going to do. I will just read it as you guys are looking at it. You're going to observe video clips, and there's lots of them out there. So if this is something that you're interested in, whether it's second and third graders or middle school students or even high school students in physics, get into some more advanced Rube Goldberg machines, they can all do these kinds of activities from a science point of view. But as far as the writing point of view, Rube Goldberg is not alive anymore, but he was a comic. He made comedy strips and wrote comics, and he basically, a Rube Goldberg is anything that is very, very, very complicated to do something simple. A simple task that Rube Goldberg made through a series of steps to be very difficult. Okay. In groups of 2, in a little bit, you will be provided either a Rube Goldberg drawing or a simulation, another artist take on a Rube Goldberg design, which I'll give you in a little bit. But you're not going to have the steps. You're going to see what happened. You're going to have the visual of what happened, but you or with your partner are going to create this happened first, this happened second, this happened third. But before we do that, I'll kind of just introduce you to some Rube Goldberg. You may have seen some of these. The first one's an actual commercial from Honda from a few years ago. I don't know. This is the first time I've used this site that kind of pulls a bunch of videos together. I don't know if I can make it bigger or not. Or sound. Gotta have sound on this one, if possible. Stephanie, do you know how I can introduce sound? Maybe.
Is it on the wall?
It should, yeah. And then at the top, is it on, like on the map?
On the computer.
On the computer itself.
Go to the very, like, scroll the mouse to the top and you see nope, still no sound.
Oh, on the video, is there an X beside the sound?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
there we go.
All right.
I'll back this up. Thank you very much. Technology is not my thing.
Together,
And from the looks of this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this full screen or not. I'll try.
I think if you were to watch it on YouTube, you could.
Well, can everybody see it?
Yep,
That's fine. There's 2 screens. Sorry. Since they're consolidated, I'll leave it here.
Oh, nice. Wow. That is amazing.
Isn't it nice when things just work?
That's a brilliant ad.
So, obviously, that wasn't middle school students that could put something together. Hours and hours and hours from a professional, and there maybe even some photography tricks in there. But basically, lots of different steps. In this case, to, I don't know, pull a banner down, I think was the ultimate little task that they did. The trunk shut and the car rolled off the lever. But lots of use of simple machines through there. Those are all car parts that I don't know if you noticed. Again, sorry to make it bigger. But that's one of the famous Rube Goldberg style actual machines that they have. I'll show you one or two other ones. The kids love to see these ahead of time just to kind of get them thinking about what they are. And again, since I thought maybe I'd be able to make these bigger, but I may just go right to the YouTube. I was going to click on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Ah, now I can get it
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
People just love CenturyLink Prism TV.
I love Prism.
Yeah, definitely.
We love CenturyLink.
I don't know what else to say. Like Thrill Beyond Belief.
It's the best.
I love it. We love it. There are a million reasons to love Prism TV. Experience it for yourself at cprismtv.com.
This one's put to a music video. We may not watch all of this because it's about 4 minutes. Who hasn't done that when they were 10 or 11? little more homemade, but something that the students would do after we write about it. Clearly, it's fun for the students to actually create something as well. Let's see if I can go back now to that side of the zone.
It should be the tab on the left.
Ah, gotcha. Sorry, I'm used to Mac. Place there. All right. I did give you one, but I think the one up here actually is a little bit better. Whoops.
You're wanting the still frame?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I found this new handy website that kind of put everything together that I never used. And I didn't.
Well, there's a lot up here.
All right, thank you. Good to have an assistant that knows a little bit about computers. All right, so basically, Rube Goldberg, he's drawn some sort of a contraption that does something very easy, very simple. In this case, the ultimate task is being able to walk your dog on icy pavement. But to do that, it goes through a series of steps. Can you guys all read the fine print on the right? I'll read you through and go step by step. But ultimately, what you're going to do in just a moment is you're going to create this with an image that you're given, or that you can choose from, and you're going to go step by create steps. A, this happened. B, this happened. C, this happened. Some of them will be attached to levers or pulleys or different things. So we'll kind of walk you through this. In this case, to walk this dog, or a safety device for walking the dog, or for walking on icy pavements. When you slip on ice, A, your feet kicks a paddle. Okay, so that's the first thing. So you're on some ice, you slip and fall, you kick a paddle, lowering a finger. So this would be on a lever. Once you kick the paddle, the lever, simple machine of a lever, lowers the finger. The snapping turtle extends its finger to bite the finger, or extends its mouth to bite the finger. Opening ice tongs D, so another lever, opening ice tongs D, dropping a pillow, it allows you to fall on something soft. So that all happens, and the ultimate task is you don't get hurt when you're doing that. But that's kind of the style of Rube Goldberg, if you haven't seen any of his original work, and that is one of his. But what we're going to do today is kind of create the thought process of what happens step by step. Okay, so if you can get into groups, I'm going to give you some diagrams of images, groups of two. I'm going to allow you to choose. You are going to have 6 different options that you and your partner can choose one of to write the steps. A, this is what's happening. B, this is what's happening. C, this is what's happening. We'll take 10 or 15 minutes on that, and then we'll come together and kind of share. And then I'll give you what Rube actually did as well. So I'm giving you, if I were to give you this one, it'd be without the words. You're creating that. But I also want you to think about the simple machines that go into that. And since this isn't a science class, I'm not going to get too hung up on that. But that would be one of the things that I would want my students to be looking at as well. Not just the creative process of writing steps. Okay? So I will give you blank sheets. Let's see, groups of one. You can choose any of the images in there, and you can just write on the bottom, step by step. A, this is kind of be creative, have fun with it. What you think might be happening. Most of them have an A, B, C, D situation. Have one. I have it for all of you, so you can write together on one. There's a couple others you can look at, so you're all looking. Thank you.